What is going on my broskies? My name is Toadski and I am back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're coming back with a brand new guide video, and this time we're going to be breaking down how to beat Coliseum Wyper in the Chaos difficulty Coliseum. Now, Wyper is actually available within the Underground and Exhibition difficulties. However, if you want to farm him consistently and get a lot more copies of him to actually drop for you, then you obviously want to go ahead and do it in the Chaos difficulty Coliseum. And in this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how you guys can beat all of the stages leading up to and including Wyper himself. So without further ado guys, let's get straight into the video. Moving on, let's go ahead and look at the unit itself, Berserk Wyper, Warrior of Shandir. So this is the brand new Wyper character that is available within the Coliseum. He is a 5-star unit and is a strength shooter free spirit character, and at max level, at level 99, he has 2095 health, 1260 attack, and 99 recovery, so his stats are okay, and he has 30 cost and 3 socket spots, which is actually really nice. Now his captain effect will boost the attack of free spirit characters proportional to the crew's current HP, reduce crew's current HP by 10% at the end of each turn. So the way that it works is that if you're at 1 HP, you get 2.75 times attack to free spirit characters, and if you're at max HP, it's something like 1.5 times attack. So overall, it's not a terrible captain ability by no means, and plus, you will also get your crew's HP cut by 10% at the end of each turn. So with a double Berserker Wyper, as your captains, you get 20% of your health cut every turn. So if you start with the Moby Dick as your ship, then this guy's actually a pretty decent free spirit captain. You're probably already going to be starting off at around about 2.5 times attack with the Moby Dick, and after the first turn, you get that little bit of HP cut. So overall, I think this guy's actually a pretty solid captain ability. You just got to make sure that you use him correctly, because you will be losing a lot of health, so you do have to take that into consideration. Moving on though, let's go ahead and have a look at his special, which starts at 28 turns and will max at 18. It will boost the attack of free spirit characters by 1.5 for 1 turn and deal 15 times this character's attack in strength damage to all enemies. So you get a little bit of damage, you get a free spirit boost. 1.5 for a turn is pretty good. Obviously not as good as Legend Sabo, but he's still a really good free-to-play free spirit booster. So if you guys are looking for a very powerful free spirit captain and also special, then this guy is your man. So let's go ahead and start breaking down all of the fights of the Chaos difficulty Wyper Coliseum. So fight number 1, you are against some Bazooka Pirates. Now there's 6 of them, and they don't have a preemptive attack that will apply a debuff protector or a delay protector. So you guys can just go ahead and bring any delay that you really want and then take them out reasonably easily. They are really easy to take down. And the main one at the back has a 4-turn cooldown. All of the other ones will have a 1-turn cooldown. And the guy with the 4-turn cooldown, if he does get a chance to attack you, he will deal 24,000 damage. So obviously you want to try and take him down, and he does have an 8-hit combo barrier, so you do have to take that into consideration as well. But most of the time you can just bring a really powerful side team and be able to take down these guys really easily. I tried to find what the actual health value was. I really couldn't find it. I searched everywhere, but I'd imagine, they wouldn't be that powerful. Maybe 50,000 for the smaller guys, and the big guy might be 300, 400,000 or something like that. Overall, a really easy first fight of the Chaos difficulty Coliseum. Moving on to the second fight is against Hummingbrook, and this guy has 1.52 million HP and an attack power of just about 7,000 every 2 turns, and he does have a preemptive attack that will shuffle your crew's orbs into either bomb orbs or recovery orbs. So bringing potentially Raid Boss Kuma is a really good one, who can shuffle those orbs into matching orbs, will enable you to deal a lot of damage in that first turn. But if you don't kill him in that first turn, he will apply a defensive shield. I'm not too sure what the value of that defensive shield is, and also chain the right side of your crew for 3 turns and apply a Captain Despair for 2 turns. So obviously you want to try and kill him off in that first turn if you possibly can. If not, you're going to be getting those effects applied to your team. So if you have sockets, you won't really need to worry about that. But if you get this guy below 20%, he will apply a very high defensive shield, and it's going to make it very difficult to take him down once he does have that defensive shield active. So highly recommend, if you want to try and avoid that defensive shield, bursting down that last 20%, but ideally trying to take him out in that first turn with a really powerful burst team would be the most ideal way to take down Brook. Moving on to Fight 3, we have Kumadori from the story mode, the Psy version, and I tried researching on his HP, but I really couldn't find a full final HP value, so I'm sure it wouldn't be that high, maybe between 500 to a million HP. He has an attack power of 3,932, and he'll attack you every single turn with a 1-turn cooldown. Now, he does have a preemptive attack, and what it does is it will change your orbs to empty, And also for 1 turn, he'll have a debuff protector and also apply a multi-shield for 4 turns. So what this multi-shield does, it will reduce damage significantly for every color except for int or purple type. So obviously you want to try and bring a really powerful purple team in order to deal a lot of damage to him. Otherwise, you know, you're going to be taking 4 turns worth of nearly 4,000 damage, so you don't really want that to happen. Now, if he falls below 50% HP, he will then do 7,000 damage, and when he falls below 20% HP, he will give himself an attack buff, and his attack will go up to 8,248, and cut the crew's HP by 50%, and randomly chain 3 units for 3 turns. So this guy actually is a little bit tricky. One really good way that I would recommend to try and take him down is potentially bring like a double Mihawk team, shave down half of his HP, but bring a lot of int slasher characters. So like Vista, Crocodile. If you have int Mihawk, he might be really good. But you know, getting the HP cut from the raid Mihawk is really useful. Just really powerful int slashers. Maybe you want Doflamingo for the ore boost as well, and just try and burst him down in 1 turn with really powerful int slasher characters. That would be maybe one way to go about it. If you have Rayleigh, he'd be really good as well against this guy. But he's probably going to be one of the trickier ones, I would say, for the Wyper Coliseum. In fight number 4, you will come up against Bram, which is also a guy from the Skypian Islands, and Bram here has 570,000 HP and an attack power of 3,005 on a 2-turn cooldown. Now, he does have a damage limiter buff that he activates as his preemptive attack, so any damage that is over 100,000 will be limited down to, you know, another value. So basically, it's like a certain percentage, so if you deal over 100,000 damage, the rest of that damage over 100,000 is like reduced by a certain percentage, so it's going to be really hard to try and deal 570,000 damage to this guy. He is quite tanky with that damage limiter active, and after the 2nd turn, he will actually apply an attack buff of 4,500 damage, so he goes from 3,000 to 4,500 damage. And if you get him below 20%, he will blind you for 99 turns, which is obviously really bad. And especially when you go up to him in the next stage, when you go into fight 5 against him, it makes it that much worse against him because you have to take that in against Wyper. So you obviously don't want him to get you blinded, because that's basically going to spell the end of your run for most people. Anyways, it becomes very difficult at that stage. So you ideally want to try and burst him down for 50% or from 20%, just so you don't get blinded. But you know, every 2 turns you're going to be taking that damage of 3,000, and you know, he will eventually buff his attack to 4,500. So you want to bring just a really powerful strength team. That would be probably the best way to try and go ahead and take him down. But overall, he shouldn't be too difficult. Only 570,000 HP, and the damage limiter isn't that bad. It's only 100,000, so you can, you know, still do about 5 hits or 6 hits of 100,000, and he'll be dead. So overall, he shouldn't be that difficult with a really powerful strength team. So as I said, when you go onto the fight 5 against Wyper himself, you have to come up against Bram before you reach Wyper himself, and he has a little bit of reduced health, so from 570 down to 400,000 HP, and his attack power goes from 3,000 down to 2,800, and you know, he still has the damage limiter, which is annoying. He has an attack buff after the 2nd turn, and he will still blind you for 99 turns once he does fall below 20%, and you do have to remember, you do take that in to against Wyper, you know, if you do get him under 20%. So ideally, want to burst him under 20%, you know, because you don't want to get that active blinded against your turn, because it makes taking down Wyper that much more difficult. Moving on to the final fight, Fight 5, Stage 5 against Wyper himself. This guy here has 1.43 million HP and an attack power of 7,020 on a 2-turn cooldown. Now, his preemptive attack is pretty simple. It just does 7,000 damage to your crew, so it is pretty difficult. You know, it's, as soon as you reach him, he's dealing 7,000 damage, which is quite hefty. And when he falls below 20% HP, he will deal 12,000 damage to you if he is attacking on that turn. So you have to be very careful about that. And he also has a resurrection, so when you end up killing this guy, he will recover 10% of his HP, and then he's going to deal 3,500 damage to you. So you should be able to take down 10% of his HP after reviving with the right units, of course, with a really good quick team, with some quick units on your team. But overall, it is really annoying that he does have to recover, and he does 3,500 damage to you when he revives as well. So overall, he does, you know, 10,500 damage. So you do have to be very careful that, you know, with preemptive attacks, attacks and his resurrection attack, it's 10,500 damage. So you know, you have to have at least that, or you might have to recover some HP or have a damage reducer of some sort. But overall, it should be really, really simple, honestly, with some really good quick units on your team. A lot of rainbow teams with some quick units can actually take him down reasonably easily. And with that resurrection, it's only a 10% resurrection, so it should be reasonably easy to take him down. He'll only recover with, you know, 143,000 HP. So most teams can really do that in one turn, 1 or 2 turns even. So you just got to be really, really, really careful, because he still will activate his under 20% effect when he does revive, because he only has 10% HP. So make sure you take him down when he does revive, so you don't take yet again 12,000 damage. Now that we've broken down the dungeon itself, let's go ahead and talk about the notable drops. So obviously you can get every single type of cotton candy, HP up, attack up, recovery up, and all types up. You can also get socket books or forbidden tomes, which are always really, really nice to get. Also, you can drop the skill books of himself, and as I stated before, his skill goes from 28 turns to 18 turns, so you need 10 skill ups on him, which is nice. So you can also feed copies that you drop in the Coliseum, and also the skill books themselves. You can also drop coal to level up some ships, and belly bags. Everyone loves them belly bags. Alright, let's go ahead and start with some free-to-play teams that will be able to beat this Coliseum Wyper stage. So, this is a really good free-to-play NL team. Use the double raid NL team, and if you have plus 100 recovery cotton candies on both your and your friend captain NL, it makes running this team so much better, because you get like so much more recovery. It is insane. It's like 1,000 more recovery or something like that. It is ridiculous. And if you have auto heal, it just adds to that as well. Now, the way this team actually functions is that when you reach Bram on stage 4, you will have to go ahead and use both Brook and Pell on those stages. Like, you want to try and use Brook when you're nearly about to die, because Brook will actually recover like 4,000 HP. So that's really, really good. Gives you a lot more recovery, and you can withstand a few more turns. And also what Pell does is he boosts for 3 turns. Quick characters get a 1.25 attack boost. So that's really, really nice. So you don't have to end up using your NL special, because you ideally want to be using those NL specials on against you know, Wyper himself. And when you actually reach Wyper, what you want to go ahead and do is just to try and just keep attacking until he's, you know, about halfway. Then you can go ahead and use Lucci and your NL special, bring him all the way down to the end, and then when he revives, you can just use your second NL special, double attack for your quick characters, and you should be able to take him down after he revives reasonably easily. Now, the second team I want to suggest to you guys is a double GARP free-to-play team. Now, the way this team works is you make it all the way to Bram, you go ahead and use Golden Pound Usopp, and then just keep chipping away at his HP. When he is just about to fall below 20%, you use one of your GARP specials and use Mr. 2 to get a full board of yellow orbs. Then go ahead and use Kobe to just burst down that last bit of HP that Bram has. Now, when you actually reach stage 5 against Wyper, the final boss, you just want to keep chipping away at his HP until your Golden Pound Usopp is ready yet again to keep delaying him, and just keep chipping away at his HP. Make sure to keep picking up recovery orbs along the way so you can restore your HP. And then once you are prepared, you guys can just go ahead and use your NL special, which will give a 1.5 times boost to your yellow characters for a turn. And you can potentially use a GARP special if you want, but ideally you want to use the GARP special when he revives, because that'll give you a lot of opportunities to get some yellow orbs and to deal a lot of damage to him when he revives. Also, you got the 1,000 Sunny there as well, so when he revives, you can use that, which will chip away already 50,000 damage away from his revived state, which will leave him with only approximately 100,000 HP, and it should be reasonably easy with the double GARP team to deal 100,000 damage in a single turn to take out Wyper. So that is going to conclude yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and if you guys have enjoyed it, make sure to smack the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.